Just introduce, obviously everyone knows Barry, but Barry will be working as a specialist coach starting today, for probably a couple of days a week for the rest of the year. So he'll be working with the key position players, forwards and backs, and hopefully we can take what we believe is a very strong spine and some very good youth there, take them to another level. So obviously we'll have some questions of Barry and maybe myself, I suppose, I don't know. Anyway, leave it open.
I got one for you. How did this even come about?
Well, Barry and I go back to Sydney days, and then obviously we were very keen to get Barry to the Bulldogs at the time, so Coach Barry. So I've kept in touch with him and see him. And actually during the season up here when he was doing one of the games, I just asked him about what he's thinking of the future, and I said, "You ever thought of some coaching?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Not full time, but he said, I'm certainly interested in dipping his toe in the water." So at the end of the year we had a conversation and spoke to people internally, and we thought it was a good idea to be able to get Barry involved.
What do you hope he brings? What are you expecting him to bring?
Well, I think with a wealth of knowledge and experience, to be able to take our younger players up to another level. So some areas of the game that they may need some improvement with body work, obviously being able to read the cues when to lead, be able to use your body at the right time to be able to lead at the right time, marking, those type of things. So I think even a player like Tom Lynch was really excited about having Barry on board.
Does Barry bring a lot of runs as well?
He didn't as a player, I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, I think the physicality about using it at the right time, so more about using your body at the right time to be able to create some space for yourself to help your marking, to obviously help your leading. So, and he's played 250 games and captain the premiership side, so obviously there's a wealth of experience and knowledge there to be able to pass on.
And he's going to bring a lot, like he won't let the boys slacken off, like he's going to tell them kind of...
Oh, well, he won't be here. He won't be here day in, day out. He's going to answer to the forward coach, Ash Prescott, so they'll be working together. So, that's more about education and teaching and be able to have those relationships with those players, have the conversations.
What about old school though? You imagine he'll be a bit of the old school type, not so quiet perhaps, or fairly direct in his...
Oh no, Barry's, I think his personality is contrary to what we've seen on the field at times. No, he's a very engaging guy who's prepared to work with younger players. I mean, when I was at the Bulldogs, it was fantastic to be able to help the young forwards. So, and the people gravitate to him because he's got that personality that he wants to be around people.
Barry, you've called a lot of the SUNS games for Fox over the years. Mm-hmm. What's your impressions of those young boys that you're going to be looking after?
Oh, look, I'm really excited. Obviously, the forward line's got a lot of talent, but even the key backmen, which I'll be helping with as well. There's a lot of talent to work with, so pretty blessed in that area. But look, I think we can keep some of the players out of the physio room and the doctors. The talent's here to really gain some ground and make a real impact next season. So it's exciting for me. As I said, walking in and Rocket spoke about it, the spine is a really good spine. That's the first thing you look at on a footy team. There's a real good core group there to work with, so I'm pretty excited.
What about working with a guy like Tommy Lynch and getting a chance to perhaps give a bit of influence to him? I mean, he's obviously proven himself as a quality full forward, but you must be excited about working with someone like that.
I am. Look, he's one of my favourite players to watch, and purely because I was a forward myself, but I see a little bit of me in him in terms of when things aren't going your way, he tries to change things. Now, I probably didn't do that the best way, but Tom Lynch has got a bit more of an attack to him, and I think it's a really good leadership quality that you can't teach anyone. That it's a competitive nature that if things aren't going well, as a leader, you've got to try and change stuff, and he's got that. He's got that naturally, so I'm excited, and that's why I love watching him, and that's why everyone loves watching him. He's considered one of the best key forwards in the game, and he's got so much improvement left in him, so excited to work with him, no doubt.
Barry, Tom Lynch gets all the publicity, and I mean, he's won a couple of club champs and he's an All-Australian, but Stephen May is right on his heels as an elite key position player, isn't he? And what can you, as a forward, bring to a defender? Is it perhaps what you found hardest to play against, or?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I say to most of the young kids is how hard are you to play on? And that's probably the question you ask first up. You want to be a player that's hard to play on, and Steve May is certainly that. He's very smart, Steve May. Yes, he puts on some big bumps and he's physical, but the way he goes about it is he's a really smart player. He's got good closing speed. He's certainly elite and another player that I'm really looking forward to work with.
Well, what about the sheer size of him? I mean, Stephen May's under 200 centimetres, but the rest are right on it. And there's 6 of them.
Yeah, definitely. The size, and that's the modern AFL player, really, isn't it? Mobile, athletic, and tall and big. You obviously got to get them strong on the body and through the hips, so they're not getting pushed off the ball. But the body-on-body stuff's really important, and to get them up to speed strength-wise. But marking the ball at the highest point's pretty important as well when you're 200 centimetres. So it's probably just massaging them into playing to their strengths and what they need to do. So, as I said, if you're 200 centimetres, you don't want to be locking up with your opponent too much. You want to be jumping at the ball. So it's a fine line, and we'll certainly get that out of them.
And the one with the most upside, because he's the youngest, I guess, is Peter Wright. Your observations on Peter? He's the one with, just about to burst onto the scene, I guess.
Yeah, he is. And the thing I like about Peter is he doesn't need many opportunities, and probably similar to myself, I only sort of average 10 disposals a game, but every disposal he gets, he uses. He sets up a teammate or he kicks a goal. So he's going to get more and more of the football as he learns to play the game. But I just love how efficient he is with the football. It's pretty rare with a guy that size. We obviously know he's got a lot of talent, but the way he kicks a footy a goal, pretty unique.
Barry, is there anything you've already recognised in watching from the outside with Lynch and May and guys like that you already want to see add to their game? Is there any kind of elements that you want to see them kind of improve?
Well, it's just and it's something that I had to learn over 17 years of an AFL career was just thinking through the game a bit more. Yes, they're strong, they're tall, they're quick, they're really good players, they're skillful, but you actually have to think through the game and use all those things, all those tools to your advantage. So it's something I learned in the last 3 or 4 years of my career, and I wish I had learned a bit earlier. So they're the things I'll be trying to talk to them about, thinking your way through the game a bit more. You've got all the attributes, let's try and use them.
I guess on the coaching, is it something you've aspired to before, and could this be a stepping stone to greater roles? Or?
No, it's something I haven't thought about before. These blokes are mad, seriously. Look, I love the game, but I love the specialist coaching part. And when I was at the Bulldogs, and Rocket would have seen it, I just love working with young people. It probably shows my immaturity, but I love working with young people, and I guess guiding them in places where I didn't get guided when I was a bit younger. So it's a part I really enjoy. And when you actually see them do something that you've told them to do, it gives you a little bit of a feeling. So I enjoy that part of the game.
Relating to those young people is a bit different to what maybe when you were coming through at the same age. It's a skill, isn't it? How these young guys, how you treat them, how you communicate with them.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm probably lucky. I'm 5 years out of the game, so it's probably is a long time. But yeah, I've played with a lot of guys and captained a lot of guys where you can't yell and scream at them and hit them over the head and tell them to do this and that. People are different. It's like in a work environment. You can't treat everyone the same. So footy clubs are the same, footy players are the same, and so are coaches. So don't forget that.
What was the selling point to get you to the SUNS of all clubs?
Well, it was purely the relationship with Rocket in the end. And as I said, he got me to the Bulldogs. And I just think he's seen the way I work with some of the younger forwards then who needed developing back then. So, and there was a bit of a hole, I think. I think the young forwards that they got here are really talented. And if you can fast track development, why wouldn't you do it? So it was a relationship with Rocket that got me here. Yeah.
What did you see last season that you want to try and help fix?
Well,
they were so close so many times.
They were so close, but I think with a bit of misfortune last year is going to do the football club a world of good in the next 2 years, because there's games in guys that they got last year that they probably wouldn't have got if some of the high-profile players weren't injured. So I think in terms of development, you've got 50 games under some guys that mightn't have got. I think that's going to do you the world of good in terms of your list. So the quality of the list, as I said, if we can keep them out of the physio room, it's certainly going to push.